And of course, now my neighbor decides to turn on their very loud truck. I'm convinced that they have a pair of binoculars that they look into my bedroom with so that they can know each time I'm filming. That's when they decide to make all the noise you can possibly imagine. Hello everybody, today I'm going to do another one of my tea time videos. Tea time is time for you, why am I pointing at myself? You and me to grab ourselves a nice cup of tea, sit down and talk. Well, I'm the one talking, not you. But if you want, you can talk back. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going off on a tangent. I wanted to start off with something kind of fun. Let me put my cup down for a second. So this was actually sort of unexpected, but I recently read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I actually featured this in my last video. And funnily enough, I realized that I have 2 copies of this book because a while ago somebody gave me this book not knowing that I had already purchased a copy of it. I don't really want one to just be sitting on my shelf getting dusty. So rather than letting that happen, I thought I would give it to one of you guys because it's a really good book and I think you guys would really enjoy it. So I thought it would be fun if I made a little package with this book and a little personalized letter from me and maybe whatever little knickknacks and goodies I feel like throwing in there. This is a psychological thriller and it follows a man named Jason who was kidnapped and knocked unconscious, and when he wakes up to a world that is unlike the one he remembers. His wife was not his wife, his son was never born, he used to be a college professor, but in this world he is a celebrated genius. Everybody knows him for achieving something impossible and remarkable. I just found this plot to be incredibly fascinating, and I'm also a total sucker for this sort of plot. One of my favorite things is psychological thriller movies and books. I love and am slightly, okay, actually very obsessed with any sort of plot that I know is going to really mess with my head. I am going to make this an international giveaway, and in order to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is comment below your name, let's see, I'm just making this up on the spot. One bizarre fact about you. Just the weirdest thing you can think of. Something that will make me laugh, catch my attention. But yes, once I select a person, I will just send them a message and then you will get a little package from me. A book, a letter, and just some little goodies. One thing that I wanted to talk about is, I think many of you know that I am moving out of the United States. I am moving to London and I will be leaving the first week of September. So yeah, for those of you who are new here or didn't know, basically I'm moving to London to finish my degree. I was accepted into my dream university and I'm very, very appreciative and happy. I worked really hard these past couple of years to get into this school, so I'm very happy. I will be there for at least a few years until I finish my degree, and after that, I don't know. I'm not planning that far. I have been attending university here in California for a little while now, but I have just been really unhappy at my university here. I will always love my hometown. It will always be a place that I am so lucky to return to. I've always known since a young age that I wanted to soar off into the universe, and that scared my parents because when I was little I would openly tell my parents that I was fully planning on just moving all over the world once I got older. I did make the decision after high school to stay and spend some more time with my family for a while here, so they definitely appreciated that. I am not the kind of person that can stay in one place. I can't help the part of me that will always and forever be somebody that just needs to keep moving and changing what they're doing. I've found ways to do that here, but it got to a point where that just hasn't been enough for me. I'm always searching for that sense of bigger and new. And I have a feeling I might always be that way. My sense of bigger might just keep expanding until it's huge. And I don't know if that's making any sense or if anyone can relate to that, but if you can, I'm guessing you might have the same thing. It is going to take a little bit longer for me to finish my degree than it would have if I stayed in the States, but it's only a year difference, which in my perfectionist mind was such a huge deal at first because I was like, oh no, 1 year? Oh, Like, how terrible. It's ruining my entire plan. But once I realized that 1 year was such a ridiculous reason to give up what I want to do the most, I stopped caring. 1 year delay, that is nothing. It's okay if I'm doing things a little bit differently than I planned or what everybody else is doing, because it's what I want to do. Also, it made me realize, why do people feel the need to create such concrete timelines for themselves? My friends and I have talked about this a lot recently, is that we see so many students putting so much pressure on themselves when it comes to the timing of their degree, and it is not something that I personally want to rush. And I don't think that it is something that anyone should feel that they need to rush. I wish that when I was in high school, more people could have told me that taking a gap year was an okay thing to do. Alternative options are not something that are discussed very often. I think that there's majorly one way that is advertised when it comes to pursuing your career and going to school and ultimately just accomplishing success in life. Every individual is going to have a different way of going about their academic career, their job. Because whatever you need to do to be the most successful, you do that. You will get to the finish line. Don't worry, the finish line isn't going away. It will always be there. You can take a couple stops to breathe every now and then. Or maybe like go off down a different path and take a little detour and then come back and then go down the road and then you'll reach the finish line. Everyone has their own unique path. So follow that path. And wow, where did this come from? I don't know. So anyway, I have been pre-filming videos for the first bit of time that I am in London, moving in, settling in, all of that. I want to make sure that I still have consistent content for you guys, because that is what makes me personally feel better. My only problem with pre-filming videos is that I have this horrible urge to post them as soon as I make them. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is something that I've wanted to talk about with you guys for a while, that has been on my mind and I'm really looking forward to, sorry, excuse my really creaky bed, is starting a little bit of an interactive reading thing for all of us. Not so much like a book club or a group, because that's not really what I'm aiming for, but I have this idea and it's not structured yet, but I wanted actually your input, and maybe you guys could come up with some ideas in the comments, sort of like it's a collaborative thing that we all create together rather than just me. We pick a book, maybe we would even pick a genre each month or some sort of category that allows us to pick a book each month. Maybe I would even create a poll with a few options so that we could all vote, and then we end up with a book that all of us want and we all read it together. So I would give the entire month for everybody to read the book. That way there's plenty of time for those of us who read slower or faster or have busyness in life going on. And then maybe we would either do like a live show, or I could do a book talk or a book review, or we chat about the book and just have like a nice cozy sit down like little gossip session about the book, but just so it feels like there's one book that I can read with you guys, having one book that I can sit down and read and know that a group of you guys are reading as well. And I think it would be fun if like we even got into little debates sometimes about books, because I'm sure there will be some of us who liked the book and some of us who didn't like it, so it can be like, I liked it, and someone else might be like, oh, I hated it. Let me know what you guys think. Name ideas, structure ideas for the whole thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with, because you are all so creative and always comment the most interesting ideas. So I have complete faith that there will be some very wonderful and interesting ideas that come up. And lastly, I wanted to show you guys my current reads. So the first one is Prisoner of Night and Fog by Anne Blankman. It is about Hitler's niece. It's about her relationship with her uncle, the rest of her family, and her budding relationship with this Jewish reporter. And I've heard so much praise for this book. I haven't read a historical fiction in a long time, so I've been really looking forward to sitting down with this one on a cloudy day, because believe it or not, California has started to have some clouds begin to come in, which I'm very happy about. And the next one is Flame in the Mist by Renee Audier. This book is everywhere right now. Everybody's raving about this book or not raving about this book. This book has been super polarizing, so I'm a little bit scared to get into it because I love Renee Ahdieh as an author. I read The Wrath and the Dawn, which is a very popular retelling of 1001 Nights, and it was so good. This is supposed to be a retelling of Mulan, but what I've heard about this book so far is that it is not really a retelling of Mulan. It was intended to be a retelling of Mulan, but I've heard that it doesn't actually have that many elements of Mulan. I'm gonna go ahead and enter this book with an open mind because I still want to respect my love for Renee Ahdieh and give her book a full chance, maybe with less of an expectation of finding that many elements of Mulan and more an expectation of hopefully it just being a fun fantasy read. You guys should go ahead and let me know in the comments what you thought of this book. If you read it, I would love to hear. Like I said, I'm a little bit scared to start it, but I just need to go ahead and read it. My camera is blinking at me, which means it's going to die soon because I don't think it was properly charged. I hope that you guys enjoyed our little conversation, our one-sided conversation, although feel free to respond to anything I said in the comments because I love reading your comments and I try to reply to all of your comments as much as I can. That's something that means a lot to me. Yes, I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna go sit down and pick up one of these books. I hope that you'll go and have yourselves a fabulous day, evening, night, whatever time it is, and I will see you all next time. Bye!